What do you do here?
Well, my official title is I'm the director of the museum, and I kind of make sure we have things going on and that our objects are cataloged and taken care of, and that I meet with people about things we want to do in the community.
Do you know what your favorite exhibit here is?
Well, I have more than one favorite. I love our textile collection, and included in that are the things that have been hand woven and handmade. Anything that's handmade, to me, has just this specialness about it that I appreciate, because it takes a lot of time to hand make something and you put a little bit of yourself in it.
Yeah. Is there somewhere that a lot of things come from, like a certain place?
Not really. Sometimes people just have so many things and they don't feel comfortable getting rid of them. They know they're special, they're objects with stories, and so they know that we take care of those things, those objects with stories. That's important.
What do the animals from the animal exhibit, where did they come from?
Well, there was a man who grew up in the Myrtle area. His name was Chico Foote. Well, his father, whose name was Jody Foote, worked for Mr. Paul Rainey, who was the big game hunter here 100 years ago. And so I think he probably heard from his father, got the idea that people did that and decided that he wanted to do that. Chico did. And he ended up making a lot of money, so that made it possible in the 60s and 70s for him to go to Mongolia and Africa and Asia and all these places to hunt these animals.
Do a lot of the exhibits here come from different countries, or is it mostly the U.S. or like Mississippi or something?
Our mission is to tell stories about Union County people. And so sometimes Union County people go to faraway places, like he did.
So the handmade stuff and handwoven stuff, what is it made out of? Like, do they stitch it? Do they crochet?
Well, if we look at this one behind me, I'm really glad to have that. Miss Jeanette Stone from Potts Camp made that. She started out with a white wool blanket. She got it at an Army surplus store, I think.
A white one?
White one. And she did the dyes for the different colors, mostly from plants, because she's somebody who knows how to harvest plants to make those colors. And she created all of that. She dyed it, she stitched it, and that's really one of my favorite pieces. And I'm so lucky to have that in my office. Miss Jeanette does a lot of other kinds of art. She weaves. She makes handmade books. She just does a lot of really beautiful handmade things. I like the things that have a lot of human investment in it. And whether they made it, which they did, and then how they used it, and how lucky we are that we can do things.
What's the most popular thing that people look at in the museum?
Well, a lot of people come to see the animals because you'd never get to be that close to a
real
warthog or a zebra, so they can get up close and personal with those animals. A lot of people come for the garden. And if you grew up here in Union County, you like the timeline. You can go in there many different times and see something different that you didn't catch. It takes a while to take all that in. But the land, the resources, and the people, that's what that one's titled. And it just tells about where we came from and who was here before we were. I like the Ingomar stuff, and a lot of people come to see the Ingomar exhibit, which is from the Smithsonian, and then they like to go down to the mounds.
I just interviewed Miss Jill. I'm Rosie, and I'm one of the museum kids.